All right, let me welcome you back to another segment of Living Water Bible Study. This is the time that we get into our Living Water interviews, a feature that we have every Sabbath morning at 11:30 our time. We are later than usual, and that is due to no fault of our own. There are internet problems in different parts of the world, and the guest made a desperate effort to get on this morning, so he finally was able to make it with us. I'm going to introduce our host first, and then she will do what she does best apart from singing. Unmute. And
I was waiting for that introduction. Okay.
And tell your airplane to stop the turbulence. It is bouncing a lot.
Yes, I was trying to get something proper on the screen. Good morning, of course. I made it all the way to Malawi this morning. And do you see the colors I'm wearing this morning? It's black,
God.
green, and red. Oh, red, next side. That is the color of the Malawi flag. Red, green, and black. I'm so happy to have our guest here this morning, all the way from Malawi with us. And he's here, and I'd like to welcome you to Living Water interviews this morning. Our guest all the way from Malawi. Welcome, Christopher, it is. I'd like you to... Hi, Christopher. Welcome. Are you muted?
Okay, sorry. Yes, I was muted. I didn't notice. Yeah. Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you.
See, I'm in Malawi with you. I have all your colors on, your flag on.
Yes.
So, yes, we are there.
Beautiful. I've seen. In fact, it has reminded me that on 6th July, we were celebrating our Independence Day. So it's like, wow.
So welcome to Living Water Interviews. And what I'd like you to do, first of all, is tell us your name and where you're from, a little about yourself.
All right. As it has already been said, I'm Christopher. That's my first name. And my surname is Nambazo. So in full, that's my name, Christopher Nambazo. Actually, here in Malawi, we do use districts. So I'm from Mulanje district. That's my home.
We seem to still be having some internet issues.
Yes, it's frozen. It's frozen a bit.
Yes. So
he tried on his laptop and he couldn't get through, so he's on his phone. And
yes, in those places, the internet connection can really be a problem.
Yes. Christopher, try again. Your thing has frozen, so maybe you can just log in and log out and log back in, and we'll wait for you while Leah tells us some more about Malawi and the independence celebrations.
I didn't really investigate and find out too much about Malawi. All I wanted was a background of Malawi and the colors. So when I saw the colors, I said that have to be colors I have in my closet somewhere. I can fix something. So there I am. I put it together, and that's colors I love too. I mean, green, red, black. That's wonderful colors.
All right.
And I see the coat of arms saying unity and freedom. So I hope they have a lot of that over there. That's what I will ask him about, the unity and freedom on the coat of arms.
A lot of the African countries, they were colonized by Europeans, the Dutch, the British, the French, the Spanish. Not so much Spanish, but more the Dutch, the British, and the Germans, Portuguese, and you know, after the passing of years, a number of them decided to, you know, just go independent, to break away from the mother country, because their resources were just being harvested, you know, and taken to build the nations of Europe. You go to Europe now, I mean, Europe is so developed, huge buildings, huge monasteries, huge churches, you know, palaces, fortresses. I mean, everything in Europe is so huge, you know, from the wealth that they got from Africa and India, some from the Caribbean, right? But more so these large countries like Africa and India. You know, there are still a lot of them that are being ripped by these European countries. I'm not sure if I guess I'm just sharing a little bit of information here. I'm not sure if you've been following the war in Ukraine. This guy who was in charge of the Wagner group, who tried the mutiny against what is his name, the Russian leader, recently. That guy against Putin, right? Okay. Against Putin. The leader of that group has a huge investment in Africa. I mean, the army is being financed from the gold mines, you know, the gold mines in Africa. So, you know, it's just one of those things that Africans wish that they were completely free from all that domination, because people are still taking advantage of their resources, and not for the sake of building Africa, you know. But so let me see, he sent me a message. Let me read what it says. He's having trouble with the network that he didn't expect. He bought 3 network bundles this morning. He said, you know, 3 data bundles, which should, you know, last for quite some time, but he's just having internet problems. So we just wait on him still, see what happens.
So Pastor Fabien, look like I'll be doing a little interview with you.
Talk to me.
Tell me about that camp meeting. Where it was held? Is it far from Malawi?
Far in terms of miles. Yes, far in terms of miles, because South Africa is a huge country, and it is so vast that it took me an hour flying from Johannesburg to Uppington, and that is just a little portion of Africa I flew over, right? Malawi borders with South Africa, so in that sense it is not far. So it's not far removed. So you can just drive, take you a number of hours, but you can drive from where we were straight into Malawi. So in that sense, it's not far, because they are bordering nations. But in terms of miles, it is quite a distance. It's quite a distance away.
So was Christopher at the camp meeting?
No, he wasn't. Oh, he's one of the believers from Malawi. But Malawians were not really able to come to the camp meeting, except those who live in South Africa. There are some who have gone over there to work. He's not on back yet, because conditions in Malawi are living conditions, how you say, income and all that stuff is much lower than what happens in South Africa. So many Malawians and Zimbabweans and the neighboring countries, they flock into South Africa for jobs, because it's a poorer country. Yes, it is definitely a poorer country. From what I've heard, because you know, you find out what while you're over there, from what I've heard, you don't have a lot of, in the communities, in the villages, you don't have a lot of monetary exchange. People do a lot of trade by barter up to this day. So people, you would go to a village and you would see huge stacks of potatoes, and huge heaps of cassava, and huge heaps of rice, and huge heaps of something else. And people go, you know, and they just trade. You know, give me some rice, I give you some potatoes. So there is not a lot of monetary movement among the people. So the people are not really wealthy in that sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I rather South Africa. Uh, but we all know that they have so many poor, impoverished, kind of communities in Africa. Some of them are wealthy though, a lot of communities. Um, oh, that's from watching African movie. I don't know too much about
Okay.
Africa. So I
But
don't know if they just portray it or if it's real,
yeah,
But
there is poverty of various kinds. There is poverty that exists where people don't have their own resources. If you have a garden, if you have a farm, right, that you can grow a lot of your stuff on, you may not have much money in the bank, but you're not poor necessarily because you're able to have crops that you can take to the market that you can exchange, and your children can go to school, both primary and secondary school and even beyond. But there are people who, because of various conditions, including tribal wars and ethnic cleansing in certain places, they are poor in that they don't have anything. There is a different kind of poverty. They don't have money, they don't have property, so they just subsist. There's a script to live by. But so South Africa is not the people are not wealthy in terms of having a lot of money, but they live well. They live well because South Africa has everything, and they will tell you that South Africa has everything from crops to manufacturing. They have huge malls, they have big corporations investing in South Africa. The exchange rate of the money is low and so on, but the people are still happy because they have everything.
so,
So the
South
poverty is
Africa,
different.
okay, so South Africa is different from Nigeria. Where is Nigeria?
Well, Nigeria is way up, almost on the northwestern section of Africa. Right? It is way up close to Cameroon and not far from Ghana, in that region. Right? So that's very, very far in terms of countries between
The
South
whole
Africa
South
and Nigeria.
Africa, yes.
They're very far from each other.
Okay. Because I'd like to think that Nigeria is not a poor
No, it's
area
not.
because
It's not.
again because of the movies. I don't know too much about it, but Nigeria seemed to be one of the places that's thriving and
Oh yeah.
have a lot of
And making
things going on.
huge advancement in terms of technology and technology, oil and gas, revenues and so on. South Africa, Nigeria is making a lot of waves, and of course, in the movie industry, is booming. It's booming. So a number of people who, just grew up having gone to school, now they are movie stars and making millions and traveling all over the world. So the movie industry has really helped them as well. You might say it doesn't go too far in helping many people, but yes, it does, because there are now different movie organizations, movie companies, and not just the one or two that we see on YouTube. There are a number of them now because they see opportunities in it, and it has become so popular, so popular that people are saying, hey, well, we can make some millions in that as well. It's not just for the few here and there. So let's see. I don't see any sign of Christopher.
Yeah, it looked like he's not going to be
So I
coming
guess we
back
can.
in a hurry.
I guess we can end our live broadcast and have some interaction among ourselves as to what we do. So thank you, Leah, for dressing in those colors. I hope don't put them too far. We may have to use them again really soon.
And on the 16th, he said is their independence. So 16 is not a Saturday. 16 is a Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. So the Saturday is the 15th next week.
15th.
I suppose if he can come back.
And interestingly, we did a dry run. He came on and we were able to talk for a while, and it was flowing, no halting, no freezing. Wow. So I said, okay, we're good to go. But this morning, I guess for some reason.
This morning
not
is
working
another
out.
day. Yes, another day. So.
It's not
All
working
right.
out.